Welcome everybody. My name is Ricky. I'm a consultant auditor for Citation ISO certification, and we're going to spend a bit of time today going through the Atlas ISO platform. Ellie in the background moderating for today, and this is being recorded, so that will be available on our on-demand webpage. So you will be able to get to it there. We will also be in contact with people that are on the webinar today as well. So that's all good. There is a question and answer session on this one because of the timeline, but you can see my email address on the screen. So once this is finished, you're more than welcome. I'll be available for an hour or so after this. So if you want to drop me an email, catch up on Teams, I'm more than happy to help anybody that needs help with the ISO platform, the Atlas ISO platform. So we'll talk a little bit about the sustainability assessment as well, but we'll crack on with what we've got. Okay, so just before we get going, just a little bit about us. So we've got over 30,000 management system implemented across different ISO certificates, and there's 60 plus consultants like myself nationwide that conduct these audits and consultancies, and we tailor everything around you. That's why we're pretty good at what we're doing. We've got our management systems that can benefit your business. This year's our 30th year in business, so you can see we're well established. So yeah, that's all good. So the ISO certification Atlas platform is our, as we say, a one-stop hub, and I'm going to go into that very, very shortly. So it's been specially developed management system which helps you have everything in one place. So we're going to go into that pretty much now. If I can just share my screen. Here we go. Sorry. Give me a second. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is our Atlas platform, and you can see on the front here we have our dashboard, which you can access down the side areas here. And in the dashboard, it has specific areas that are relevant. And you can see if you go into each of these, you can view within each of these sort of aspects of your management system. The more you interact with your management system, the better information you'll get from this dashboard. Okay. And also we have area here, just view company. You're probably aware of this, but this basically gives your company details. This is a dummy platform, so don't worry too much about the information. Now, when you're in Atlas and you find you've got a bug or an issue or something's not right, instead of calling Citation, you can actually use this feedback button in the bottom left. And what that does, it takes a screenshot of the screen, and what you can do is fill in the information down on this right hand side, and you can use these tabs on the left hand side. So if you wanted to change the main contact number, you would put the arrow in, fill that in here, and you can click send. That's normally dealt with within 24 hours, and you'll get a notification email for that. You can also use these other areas as well. If for GDPR reasons you wanted to block something out, you can also do that within this area as well. So you can block different bits within there. Okay, so that's the feedback button. On the right hand side, we've got our support bot, and there's several areas that you can find information. But you can do that through this ISO support bot. So if you type in different information within here, it will give you frequently asked questions, etc. You'll see at the top the need help button. So the need help button will show you information relevant to the screen that you are in, and if you're on the main screen, it will give you information generally about the system. But more importantly is this more help button on the bottom right. In here we have several areas, and what I'd suggest you do within your platform is get used to using these platforms, these areas. What we're going to do is we're just going to have a quick look at the client template library. I find this particularly interesting because it shows completed examples of different areas of the management system. So if you're new to Atlas and you're doing your first management review, for example, if you click on this management review completed examples, there are several scenarios that you can use within here. So I'm just going to pick the 9001, and what that do, it will take you to and show you a completed example of a management review for the 9001. And I know the terminology for some people can be a little bit daunting at sometimes. So this will actually help you start to get familiar with those, and you can keep hold of those in a separate screen. The other thing that is really good in the platform is that you can, at the top here, you can see you've got the Atlas company details. If you right click on that and click duplicate, you can actually run 2 sessions at the same time. So if you're working within one area, you can then duplicate, come out, and you don't have to come in and out of the same screen. So you can concentrate then on working on that screen, just to help you make it a little bit more easy. And we've got that for the management review. And if I just go back into the need help, more help, and client template library, you can also do that for something like your environmental aspects program and risk register. And again, you'll get some examples that will show you there of some aspects that may be relevant to your business, just to help you sort of get going, and this the impact, likelihood, and consequence. So again, you can keep hold of those. Also within the area, we have our certification marks. So as you're probably aware, you'll have these within your system. Really useful to use these HTML codes. So these are the HTML codes that you'd give to your web developers, and then you can use these, give them to your web developers, and they can put those onto your website. And then if people come to your website, click on the certification marks, it'll actually open your certification. So not only can they see that you're, say, for example, 9001 certified, it will also show your dates, etc., when you started and your expiry date. So I think that's really good to know. Also, just making yourself familiar with the certification representation policy and the brand guidelines. They basically explain where you can and cannot use these certification marks. Consultancy checklist. This is when you have a consultancy. These basically keep the information that happened within that consultancy, and you can look and preview those areas. We will also look at tasks. So these, when you have an audit or a consultancy, you will more than likely have tasks. So yellow tasks or minors tend to be dealt with within 12 months, and purple actions or majors tend to be dealt with within 60 days. And this tasks area is really good, because you can look at your tasks, and you can also look at all the tasks. And you can also look at tasks that you've assigned to other people. And this is really important, because in this area here, you can add tasks, and you can assign tasks to other people as well. So on the right-hand side here, we've got completed and also closed tasks. And that information will then show further down the screen. So it's really important that the top of the screen is filled out correctly to give you the correct information that is detailed below. Now, if you've got here we have a purple action, and you want to close this purple action out, what you would pretty much do is click on this area here, update it. And then what you would do is fill out or attach your documentation for that information. And then you can change this status here. When you change it to complete, I'm not going to do it in this scenario because it's the demo. But once you click complete on there and update, that would then disappear off here. And then when you have your audit next time, the auditor will change that from complete to closed once they've seen that information and they're satisfied. We also have this take a tour button, which will basically do what I'm doing today. Will take you around any screen that you are in, and will give you a little bit of information about what is happening and what you can do within that screen. As I've said, you can assign these tasks to others as well, and you can do this down the bottom. So you can change that name here, and you can then click on here and send that person an email. Now, obviously, the person that you assign it to has to be a user on the platform. And we'll go into the users in a second, but they'll get that. And also at the top of the screen, they will also get a red circle appear in this in the notification bell. Okay, so that's that. And then going down onto users, again, this is pretty straightforward. You can add your users on the right hand side, and you can have as many users as you'd like within here, and you can also update, change, or edit their actual permissions based on what access you would like them to have to the system. So you can tick and untick within this area for that to happen. We have our sustainability area, and I'd encourage as many of you as possible to actually go in here and do a self-assessment. It doesn't cost anything, absolutely free. And once you do that assessment, it will help you, not just your people, but it will also help your processes and what you're actually doing within your business. So I encourage you all to have a look at that. Now, you can see that if we go back into the main bit here, you'll see it in here, sustainability. So if you want to, after today or whenever you can, go into this sustainability area and have a look at that. And then we're going to have a look at documents. Okay, so we have two standards of the Atlas platform. So you have the light and the full version. Now, in the full version, you have access to a full template library that you can put into your own library, and there are tens, 132, in fact, different, depending on what standards you have, of templates that you can use within the platform. And we can drop this down here to 100. And what we can do in here, let's just say you're looking for a calibration register. What we can do here is we can actually create a calibration register. And we can copy that. And then what we would do in here is we would start filling in which department and the person that was responsible. We'd start filling in this area here as well. I tend to use the red pen and fill in going down. Now, because there is asterisks in here, and then the asterisk basically determines that it must be filled in. So just for the scenario that we have here, I'm just going to fill in those details here, save and preview, and you'll see we've started to create that calibration register. And then what happens once you close that is you will see that calibration register has now moved into here. Now, this ISO documents library is your library. So you create your documents from the ISO template library, and they move, once they've saved, into the ISO documents library. And you can see here that we've got the document, the calibration register. And we can, from here, we can remove it if we want to. We can look at the amendment history, or we can add or change the data records. And what the system will do when you go back in, it will ask you, is it a minor change or a major change? You need to determine whether it's a minor or a major. If it's a minor change, it might be a spelling mistake, something like that. If you're making fundamental changes, then it would be a major increase. So if we're updating here, we will save that, and you will then go back in. You'll be in the same area that you were before. If I just put that in there and save, you will see that it's updated. You will also see now that when it's closed, and you put in calibration, you will see that it's changed version to 2.0. So that's showing it's had a major change. So everything within the ISO library is controlled. So some people have problems controlling documents that are outside Excel or Word documents, but you have the reassurance that all the documents within the actual platform are being fully controlled. And I say this is available on the full version. On the light version, you can only download some templates. The other difference with the full one as well is within these processes. So people have quality manuals, for example, and what we do in the full version is basically we move away from the probably about 80-90 page manual, and what we do is we put these into processes, and we break these processes down into core, support, and management. And what we would do is take your manual and produce these either with you or separately. And you can see here some that we've produced within the core aspect, which is operations, process, plan and risk management, and design and development. And if we just pick one of these and just view, you can see here the clauses are mentioned within there, and we have the actual process. And these are the processes that you would use to complete your internal audits. So your internal audits would be done based on these processes. And you can see at the bottom here, we have some amendment history from the original 0.1 and then where it's been accepted, which takes it to the 1.0. These documents can all be printed if you need to do that. So if I just close that, and as I say, we have these core, support, and management processes. Again, if you need a little bit more information on that after this webinar, as I say, I'm available for an hour or so this afternoon if you want to drop me any information. We also have our company documents. This looks extensive on the demo, but that really is an area where it keeps your policy, your scope areas, and any other documents that you sort of upload. So that's there. So if we go into your ISO documents library, so these are ones that have been created through the template library and moved into your documents library. This is basically your one-stop shop for all your internal audits, your management review. So where we went through earlier, where we had a management review template here, what we can do within here, if we just go back to the top and go into the ISO template library and type in management, and we'll see we've got a management review. We can pick any of these. We'll do, let's have a quick look. Yeah, 9, 40, 19, 14, 45 management review. So we can copy that. And again, when these documents are created, they're held alphanumeric. So you need to just make sure that that you've got them specific. Otherwise, they will all look very, very similar. So we'll put July 2023. We'll copy that, and you can see now that this is the actual template, and this now mirrors what we've got within this management review. So yeah, having these side by side is a great help to make sure you fill these in. Again, these documents should be filled in good detail and not just one word answers. They should be you should be speaking quite a bit about what you've done within your review as it's shown within here. Okay, and then again, once you save and preview, you can see that that's specifically saved now. Now you can see at the top left-hand corner here, it's got the ISO certification logo. If you wanted your own logo in here, what you can do is go into a view company, which we went into earlier. And on this right-hand side here, you basically click on this blue pen, pink pen, and that will open your files and folders. If you then select a JPEG of your logo, once you get that box, the box with the X in it, once you see that, just F5 refresh your screen, and it will import into this area. Once it imports into that area, then that will always show on any of your documents. So if you're printing any of your documents or sharing any of those, then they will basically show as your documents. So as I say in here, as I said, the document libraries alphanumeric. So yeah, you need to make sure that the wording within here is really finite, especially with things like internal audits. So if you just put internal audit operations, then when you go to do your operations next one, you're going to have 2. So you need to be very specific on your on how you're doing that. And we've also got a magnifying glass here where we can type in words, and what we'll find once we type those words in is we can then look at different things to look at. So this would take you to the management review. Also, toolbox or general talking that you're doing with staff. Again, that should be documented. So you can use these system toolbox talks, and again, a risk assessment tool. And you can click on these, and it can give you some templates to help you fulfill those. So that's all good. Okay. We also have here a help and information area. Again, takes you straight to what is at the top, the need help, and again, just shows you what you need on there. Okay. Anywhere in the screen, if you click on this Atlas logo here, it will always take you back to your first screen. Okay. Now, I do appreciate that this has been sort of a whistle-top run through the Atlas platform, and I'm sure people may well have sort of questions on that. But as I say, I am available should you need it after today or after this meeting to sort of go through those. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just go back to the other screen that we had, and go back to the presentation. So yes, let's go back here. Yeah, so we're all good with that. So as we say, it's your one-stop hub for the ISO certification. You've got within the platform also shows you the contact number that you can have to get in touch with the Citation ISO. And I don't know if anybody is actually, as we're doing this, actually in their actual Atlas platform at the moment, just going through and navigating their way around. As we're doing this, it would help people, as I would gather. So we've spoken about the library of the templates and how that is really smart performing for everybody, making sure that it's relevant and real time. So the real time task notification. So as I say, you can assign tasks. You can assign tasks to other people. As I said, pretty straightforward. Top right hand corner in the tasks area. And again, as I mentioned, unlimited users as long as you've got those people on the actual platform. We also have our Knowledge Hub, our Sustainability Hub. We've spoken a little bit about that. As I say, these slides will be on the on-demand web page, and we will be in contact with everybody just to sort that. Okay, this really just touches base on the Atlas Lite. So the updated version, the full version, gives you full task management functionality, and the digital template library that I showed you, where there are those 100 plus templates that you can use to improve and maintain your management system. Obviously, everything has secure access to the platform as well. And we have a few handy links here. Apologies that you may not be able to read it very well, but yeah, free resources are on there on the Atlas Hub. And if you have any problems logging in, you can use the Atlas support if needs be. So the certification, so obviously your consultancy is built in, so we would come do your consultancy and any bespoke consultancies as well. So if you're feeling you need a little bit more help, then we can come and help you maintain your management system. We also have people available in our HR and employment law section of the business, so they can help you as well. And obviously, we're available on this number and our sales. Should you think that you want to upgrade your, if you want to upgrade your platform to the newer version, or if there's anything else that you need them to sort of help you with. So so that's everything from me. So yeah, I know it's been a bit of a whistle stop tour with just the half an hour, but yeah, I mean that's all for me. So if you do want to get in touch with me in the next sort of hour, please feel free to do so. So thank you for the time, and hopefully we'll see you on another webinar soon. Okay, thank you very much.